Hey guys, welcome back to another cinematic treasure vlog. Today's episode is awesome. Please hold up right there. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to share this video with your friends that like treasure hunting and adventure. Today's episode totally blew my mind. I was so unprepared for what we found. I didn't even have my nice camera. So the story goes like this. A couple years ago, I was doing some research and I found this old town site on an 1860s map. And we went there and we killed it. We found tons of old 1850s, 1860s, 1870s coins at this area, along with military paraphernalia and all sorts of really cool old stuff. And we thought that we had the place hunted out. Turns out we came back after the farmer tilled the field and we keep finding stuff in this field. Anyway, across the street from this, like 500 yards away, there's this other field. And there was nothing on the map in that field. I've never thought to look across the street because on the 1860s map that I did on the Google Earth overlay, it didn't show any part of that township over there. There was nothing over there. But on a whim, my buddy Ty, Spanish Ty, he says, hey, they're scraping that land across the street from the Field of Dreams. We should go and just give it a quick once over. I say, okay, throw my gear in the bags, call up a couple buddies, say, meet you guys there. I wasn't going to bring any camera gear because I was just hanging out, having a good time, not expecting to find anything, and then, bam! Finding cool stuff left and right.
Seated.
Is it really?
Yeah!
Dude!
So we start off in the middle of the field and we start working our way, following the iron signals, which is really important, by the way. When you're out in a big open area and you don't know where the activity was, open up your machine, take the discrimination off, listen for the iron sounds, follow those little breadcrumbs to the actual site where you have a better chance of finding, coins and buttons and things like that. So we open up our machines and we start off in the middle of the field and we all just kind of spread out. And all of a sudden, I pull out a time period toe tap. And a toe tap was like this little piece of metal that the soldiers used to wear on their boots to keep from wearing holes in the front of their boots. And they were notorious for falling off because they were just held on by like these little tack nails. Most likely military, definitely time period. Cool. Another signal. Henry repeater cartridge cell. That's hard to say. Ryan's out there with his boy Jake. Johnny Utah, Spanish Ty, and myself. Call them over and I say, hey, I'm getting some time period artifacts and it's looking good in this direction. You guys might want to think about, coming over here and let's just grid this off and see what comes out. So Ryan comes over, Jake comes over, Johnny Utah comes over, Spanish Ty stays out in the middle of the field. I don't know why. I get this banging high tone. Ryan's like, hey, let me listen to it on my machine because I want to hear if I'm set up right. I'm like, yeah, bring it over, dude. Right about then, Ty, from out in the middle of this field, comes running up and he's like, I found a silver elephant. And he has like this little silver elephant pendant thing. It was cool. I don't know if it was time period, but it was cool. And so we're all gathered around Ty. And meanwhile, we turn around and we're like, oh, hey, where was that high tone again? I think it was over here. And maybe we should have marked it like before we all just kind of ran to Ty because we thought he had like a coin or something. And so we go back and we're trying to find the area where this high tone was, and I get another high tone. I know that's not the same high tone that I had in that other spot. Right about then, Ryan re-finds the original high tone. And I'm like, dude, yeah, just dig it. And he goes, no, I'm going to let Jake dig it. Bring Jake over.
What do you got? What do you got? Let's see.
What do you got, man? What is it?
Seated.
Is it really?
Yeah!
Dude!
I might have cursed. I cursed at him. I didn't mean to, though. It was, I'm ashamed.
Dude, let me see.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
It's fine, man. There's more.
I'm sorry, Jake. I didn't mean to curse. I was just like, yeah. The joy on Jake's face when he brought that coin out of the ground, though, was priceless. And I'm glad that we at least had cell phones rolling because, I didn't bring a camera. I go back to my other high tone, which I had marked this time.
Seated.
Seated.
No way.
Seated.
No way.
Sucker.
Seated. Dude. 1860.
I think it was like an 1856. 1856 dime? 1858. I can't remember what year it was now. It was old.
Yeah, 1860.
Nice.
Dude.
So then Ty comes over. He finally comes out of the middle of this field and joins us over there. And we're all kind of in a small area. It's only like, I don't know, 30 foot by 30 foot area. So it's relatively small for the amount of people that are in there trying to, bump in elbows, trying to dig out coins now. And as Ty's walking to meet us, he gets a banging high tone, and he pops out an 1876 seeded quarter. I don't think any of these coins had mint marks on them, by the way. So they all came from Philadelphia. If you're not familiar with mint marks, that's the little mark on the coin that tells you where that coin was made. And typically during that time period, they were Philadelphia, New Orleans, San Francisco. Those were like the big three. No mint mark indicates that it comes from Philadelphia. So John comes over and he's like, hey, I think I have a coin. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not positive. And he hands it to me, and it's like a little bit smaller than a quarter, but bigger than a nickel, and it's copper. It's definitely copper. And it's got a little hole in it. We like scrape the mud out, and we're like, man, that might be a half cent, John.
We're gonna have to weigh it and get a diameter when we get home.
Pretty sure it is. If that is a half cent, that's the first one I know of in Idaho coming out of the ground.
Johnny Utah dug the only half cent that I know coming out of our state. There might have been some that came out like closer to the Utah, Nevada borders, somewhere in that general region where it's a little bit older. But to my knowledge, I've never heard of someone digging a half cent in Idaho, which was outstanding.
I just done awesome. Rosette. Sorry about the wait.
Ty gets another high tone, and he's like, hey dude, I don't know what this is. And he brings it over to us, and I'm like, dude, that's a rosette. That would have been on like a horse bridle. And it's not only any rosette, it's a very, very ornate one that is silver plated, and it's got like a couple guys like shaking hands that says Union under it.
Union. It's a lead back.
I'm bringing my camera from now on. So then I get a beer can type signal, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll just do everyone a favor and get it out of the way. Maybe there's something cool underneath. And it turns out to be this, part of a powder flask, also time period. Funny story about this actually is about 2 years ago, I dug the exact same one nearly fully intact. Let me get it. This is what it would have looked like originally. It's got the dog and a couple birds. Today, I am going back to the same site. Unfortunately, it's going to be alone this time because everyone else is at work. I took work off because I am getting ready to go to Mexico and do a little beach detecting. So in the meantime, I'm going back to this site, and this site is kind of like time sensitive too. They are getting ready to build a whole like subdivision on top of it. Hang on. They're getting ready to build a subdivision on top of it, and when I come back from Mexico a week and a half later, it might completely be covered over, or something. It might be gone. So I'm going to hit it as much as possible before that happens. It's going to be windy. It's going to be really windy. So plan on just not hearing me talk, I guess. I don't know. Let's go. Where'd all the coins go? Yesterday, coin. Today, nothing. Total bull crap. This is bull crap. I hope that while I'm in Mexico, the guys come out and finish exploring this land though, because I have a feeling that there's a lot more here that is just out of reach for me to cover with like one coil right now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go home, get something to eat. See ya. Moral of the story, just because something wasn't on a map doesn't mean that you shouldn't fan out and search the surrounding general areas. And I mean like maybe up to half a mile around these general areas, because you never know what's going to be out there. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done it already, please, please, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers this year. Probably not going to happen. But if you enjoyed what you saw and you enjoyed the way that it was delivered, please share with your friends and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.